of addiction is something that has plagued society for many, many years, and never more so than now. Throughout history, there has been a tendency to look towards certain drugs like LSD to expand the mind, to perhaps try and get closer to God and to achieve new horizons. What are your thoughts on whether drugs help us to get closer to spirituality?
It's a great question, especially now, more than ever. I think the misery, the stress has been increasing for everyone. People get into, people need shortcuts, or they need some kind of quick dose of something that can help them achieve enlightenment, nirvana. But what I've worked with a lot of people who are into addiction, and what I felt, especially for the people who want to search for God and take drugs, in the name of it. If you tell them you take this drug and this is what you'll experience, the mind will manifest that. The drug is just freezing their mind and giving them that hallucination. And if you tell them you take this drug, you will experience blue color, then green. Mind will make it happen, and drug will just multiply it. And that happens in every experience. When people meditate with me who never took drugs, if I tell them you'll see this color and you'll feel out of body, it happens with people. They see exactly that color. It's just mind making it happen. And when you put a drug on it, the experience just multiplies, and the hallucination, the illusion, it increases. And I also feel there's a lot of attraction toward drug, a lot of attraction. And one of the reasons could be the government has controlled it. They have suppressed it. Anything that's suppressed, it will find a very ugly way of coming out. Look at how the sex industry has become. It has become industry. Drugs, the states which have legalized it, they have less crime. Not saying that we should legalize it, but we should work with scientists, with government, to find a solution of this. Suppressing it, controlling it is only going to make the problem worse. When something is suppressed, is controlled, you want to just do it again. When you travel in India, there are signboards: don't pee here, don't park your car here. Mm-hmm. People do that, and they take pictures. It just makes them feel good. And when you are taking drug, or even start drinking, any addiction, it starts with some sort of seeking some solution. Anyone who started taking drugs, they're not happy with the vibration of life. They're not happy with how things are going on. So with lack of guidance, they just take on drugs, and they feel I'll get the guidance, the high from it. A lot of factors come into it. It's not just a friend. It's not just a TV ad. It's not just that government suppressed it. There's a lot of factors. Most important being your surroundings, the parents, friends. If you have seen a lot of pain in the family, if you have seen a lot of abuse, and you are not able to control it, you will walk into drugs, hoping that this will just help me disconnect from the whole situation. If you don't have a good idol in life, or an example to follow, you will fall into it. Kids don't do what their parents tell them. Kids do what their parents do. So if kids don't get the right nurturing from parents, they will seek solutions outside. It's a common thing. If a boy doesn't have that motherly love, he will always look for that motherly love in his wife, in his girlfriend. Same for the woman. So if you don't have anything from the source, from where it should be, you will try to find it everywhere. And when I mention LSD, I always use LSD as lovingly surrendering to divine. Mm-hmm. Go for that LSD. Right. If you surrender to the divine, that's all the consciousness high you need, believe me. And there are some addiction centers. What they do, if you are into drugs, if you have been into drugs, they will start giving you some, massages, aroma therapy and all. But that's a new addiction they're giving them, because they're not going to get aromatherapy every single day. The problem is in the roots. By giving a few days of aromatherapy, it's not going to be solved. it has to be solved from the root itself. It's ingrained in the consciousness. It started from there. There was something wrong with the way you were treating your consciousness, and by not treating from there, it's again going to pop up. And that's why anyone who's into drugs, they'll keep going back, because it wasn't solved. It was just suppressed. They started it because of some suppression, right? And again, it is suppressed. It's like there's stain on my shirt and I'm using some chemical to clean it. That stain is, hidden, but there's some other stain on it. So the vicious cycle will keep on repeating. And the solution is we have to completely restructure the whole foundation. The government, the scientists, now they are finding cure for cancers. Why not find a drug? Why not find a curable, harmless drug that people with addiction, they can actually take it and find there's nothing in it. And then they should be leading into yoga, meditation. If you meditate, you cannot take drug. That's how it works. In meditation, you become aware of the awareness that's in you. In that moment, the temptation for drug, it just doesn't happen.
There's a lot of people who I've met who actually, they like to meditate and they'll do drugs, like they'll smoke pot or weed, and then they'll sit and meditate. But in fact, my understanding is that they're not really meditating. They're actually just sitting under the influence of a drug, and in an attempt to actually connect with the divine, they're actually disconnecting.
They're disconnecting. That's exactly what happens. They start, taking drugs, and then they get into meditation, hoping that both of these will give them some sort of solution, some sort of a path. It never happens. I've had a client. I gave him incense. There were 10 sticks in it, and I saw him next week. He said, "Can I have another, pack of incense?" I gave him, and then I said, "Can I have 5?" Like, what are you doing? You only need to light 1 per day maximum. So what he was doing, he would, have his pot, sit for meditation, and then light all the incense and try to take the smoke in. And thankfully, they were chemical-free incense,
right? And
it didn't do any harm. But the human mind will try to do anything.
Right.
After that, I stopped giving incense to anyone.
Right. You could.
I don't want to encourage any illusions, because the mind gets into so much of pain and stress. It tries out everything, be it drug, be it drinking, be it moving to a new country, changing names. Mind is the most helpful and yet the most dangerous thing you have. You cannot control it. You can only manage it. To manage it, you have to move into a deep state of meditation. And it's my experience with meditation. Anyone who's into drugs, they become secure within. They become aware of the awareness. They don't find any outside source. They start to understand the sources within me. But of course, it needs a very good discipline, alteration in lifestyle, and a good supportive system.